Hey, what's up? So in this tutorial, we're gonna be making this portal. The heavy lifting of this effect would be done in the material. So let's start. Go to our content drawer, graphics, and make a new folder. Name it Portal VFX, and make a material portal. Nice, and up. And now we don't need the default width, so let's change this to 100. And we won't be needing the opacity, so let's keep it on opaque. Now there are some textures we would be using. I will be keeping the link to them in the description. So let's import the textures, open this up, and drag them in here. So one of them is Vornai noise, and the other is a noise I made in Krita. If you want to know how I made them, let me know down in the comments and I'll make a tutorial about it. Let's import our noise waves. And one other thing is that we'll be using a radial shear node, which is originally from Unity, but I made this in the Unreal Engine. Radial shear. Here's the pop-up video. You can see how I made this node. Plug this here and plug the R channel in the emissive color. Now we can make a panner. Let's make some parameters that we can adjust in the material instance. So let's make for speed first, speed X and speed Y. Pen them together and plug this into the speed, plug this into UVs, and give about a 0.3 value in speed Y. This is the animation we have. Nice. One more parameter we can add is the contrast. So for that, let's add a power node. Put this here and make another scalar parameter. Name this texture power. Oops, power. Okay, give it a default value of 1. Put this here. Put this in here. Also, we can add a particle color, so we can adjust its color in the Niagara effects. Multiply, put this here, put this here, and put this here. Let's also make a lerp node, lerp, and we can lerp this texture in two different colors with this node. So the 0 are the black values here, and the 1 are the white values here. So we can alter them using this node, make a vector 3, and convert this into a parameter, name it color1, and duplicate it, Control D, and rename this to color2. Nice. Now let's change this to a reddish color and change this to a bluish color so we can see what's happening. Plug this here, plug this here, and let's see what happens. This is what we have. And let's plug this into the multiply. Nice. Now we can see the individual colors. Let's give a strength of 6. And this is what we have. Actually, we can just alter this in the material instance. Cool. Now let's just make a material instance. Save everything up. Material instance. And on portal. We have a bunch of values here. Let's get a value of 6 in the strength. Let's make the texture power 2. Now we can see that the texture power is making the red color alter since it's the blackish value originally of the texture. The more we increase it, the more the reddish value becomes, and the more we decrease it, the more it fades. Let's give it a color 2. Nice. We have color 1, color 2. Let's give a value of -1 in the speed x and a value of minus zero point 0.5 in the y. This is the animation we have. We can also change its color. Nice. Let's give a blackish color here. About like this. And maybe a copper color, rose gold. Put it about here, like here. Nice. Can also change the bluish color to this color, about like that. Nice. Maybe here, this. Nice. Let's see what we have. Now, one more thing we can do in here is add distortion. For that, we will be using the Bornai noise. So let's go back into our material and bring our Bornai noise. Here we can also use the radial shear node and plug this into the UVs. Add a texture coordinate. Plug this in here. For the sender, the default value is fine. For the strength, let's give it a value of 5. Plug this into the strength. Also, let's make a static bool so we can animate the rotation here and add a value of 2 in the offset. Nice. 5. And if we preview it, you can see we have a this sort of effect. This doesn't seem to be animated. Over here. That was animated. Nice. Actually, I think I didn't made a parameter for this. So actually, let's just make it 2 here. Nice. This is what we have. Now we can multiply this texture with texture coordinate. Actually, I think I need to add this here. Sorry. And we can multiply it with a scalar value, distortion strength, give it a default of 0.3, and put this in here. Now add this here and plug this into the UEs. Stop viewing it. This is what we have. Y here, and this is the animation we have. Now let's make a Niagara system. Go to Niagara system and make a make a simple sprite burst. Okay. NS portal. Sorry. Portal. Oh. Now we can add this material into this sprite render over here, and this is what we have. Let's change the particle state here so it doesn't close the particles. Cool. We can also add a module for aligning the sprite with the mesh. Align sprite mesh orientation, yes. This is what we have. Now the sprite is aligned in this axis. Let's preview it in our level. So I downloaded a portal mesh for this effect. I'll be giving this in the description, the link to this mesh. Grab our portal and let's rotate it. Doesn't seem to work. Let's check local space. Also rename this to portal effects. Go back and fade it. Nice. Okay, let's go to 180. 180. mm, 90. Yep, perfect. Now this is what we have. Let's go to our neighbor system and we can add a scale sprite and change this to non-uniform. Go to user parameters, add a 2D, miniature 2D, and portal scale 1, 1, 1. Plug this in here. Nice. Now we can adjust its size and level. Let's increase it. Nice. Let's decrease a bit. Maybe 7. 2, 3, 2, 2. Let's turn this off. Nice. This is what we have. Let's go back to our nether system. Can also add a glow. Also change the color in here as well. So let's add a value of 15, maybe. That is too much. Maybe we can just do one value here, right here. Nice. Now let's give it a 0.01 value. We have too much. 0.001. Please go 0. Let's give it a reddish tint. Maybe 0.005. Too much. 0.003. Still hot. 0.002. Maybe 0.0015. Nice. We can also adjust the values. Let's go to the portal. We can also make another banner for this. Let's delete this. Make another banner. Copy here, and also we can copy this and make new parameters for it. The since it's distortion, the and the speed x and the speed y. Give a default value of 0.7 maybe in here. 0.7. This in here. Y. This is what we have here. Y. Now we have a scene flag. We don't have those values. So we have to plug this here. Sorry. Y. Cool. Now we have these values. Let's check all of them up. Give a distortion value 0.5 and maybe minus 0.3 here. 0.7 here is fine. Offset, maybe let's change it to 3. Minus 1, minus 0.5, 6, 2. Perfect. Now this is what we have. Y. And this is the portal effect. Can also turn on the two-sided since it's not visible on the other side here, and go to the material, two-sided, fire everything up. Can also change its colors, maybe bluish effect. Maybe let's decrease the strength and 0.6 on 4 0. Seems to have a better look. Change it here. This is what we have. So we can make a lot of adjustments to it and make different alterations of it. But you know the basics. So that's it. Hope you enjoyed. See you in the next one.